Speaking to the media after staging the walkout, Voice of the People's Party Chief and Nongkrem MLA Ardent Basaiawmoit termed Governor Phagu Chauhan's address on the first day of the budget session in Hindi language as an insult to the people of Meghalaya. And after staging a walkout following the decision of Speaker Thomas Sangma to allow the address to continue in Hindi, Basaiawmoit stated that according to the rules, the address should be delivered in English as Meghalaya is a non-Hindi speaking state.
Vehemently protest, the language being used as the address of the government. Because according to the rule, it has mentioned very clearly that the language to be transacted in the assembly should be in English. We are not a Hindi-speaking state, so we are not expected, the government of India, to send the Hindi-speaking governors to us because we cannot communicate. It is an insult to us. And let us not forget that the toil and sweat of the people and the leaders of the state for our statehood is due to the attempt on the part of the government to impose Assamese as an official language. That was the main reason that made the people and the leaders to fight for the statehood. We've got a state on our own because of that issue. So we cannot allow this kind of imposition from Delhi, that we have to listen or speak to Hindi. I mean in Hindi, Yes, it may be a translated, but the rule says clearly that it cannot be transacted. No, we don't understand. Then if they feel that a translated version has been given, then what is the point of addressing? Tell him not to come. They have already separated the address in English. What is the point of addressing? We are talking about, the addressing. He should address the language. We understand. We should not allow this. Which is why we walk out, because we don't want to be part of that procedure. We truly represent the voice of the people. That's why we have to do that. This is against the sentiment of the people. You go ask anyone outside the house, people will not accept this kind of a tradition to be promoted in the Meghalaya legislative assemblies. We want that this tradition should be stopped, should not be allowed to continue. We don't want this kind of tradition where governor address will be addressed in Hindi. At least respect us the majority, no? It is the state government and the speaker should decide in what language they should address from now on.
And at the same time, Health Minister 𝗟𝗡𝗢𝗙𝗘 stated that it is important to make sure that the government of India knows that the people of the state does not understand Hindi.
The roles have to be always maintained. We must remember that it is necessary to communicate the inability of the state of Meghalaya, citizens of the state of Meghalaya, who do not speak Hindi, who do not understand Hindi. So it is important to highlight that, and I am happy that it was highlighted once again this year, because we need to be consistent about that. We need to make sure that government of India knows that the people of the state of Meghalaya do not understand Hindi. In fact, even we were having some difficulty following the language that was spoken, even though the written speech was given to us. So this is important that we consistently inform and highlight to the government of India that we are a non-Hindi speaking community. Roles change. Just because 𝗟𝗡𝗢𝗙 has gone to government, that does not mean that opposition shall not highlight it. So we must be grateful that it was highlighted, despite the fact that our roles in government change. And it is not unusual for roles in government to change. It's not as if I'm in government, so I should also rise. I have to maintain the protocol, but I'm happy that it was again highlighted. And government of India should take note that they should send governors who would preferably speak the language that is spoken by the people. To speak more than that will be irrelevant at this time. We just have to continue to project this to the government of India, and it's fine to project it. It's fine. And I could not have obviously risen, but it is an important point to raise.
And Tourism Minister 𝗟𝗡𝗢𝗙𝗘 admitted that he would have preferred if the address was given in a language he can thoroughly understand.
Ideally speaking though, when you communicate, I would have preferred an address in a language that I can thoroughly understand. But today, to compensate for that, what I did was read the governor's speech in English, and reading is far better because you can internalize all points of the speech better than listening to a language which I can only half.
Meanwhile, TMC leader Mukul Sangma stated that this is an issue which has been raised in the House multiple times.
They have conveyed the sentiment that was associated with whatever submission the president of BPP has said, and then so I think what he has said is self-explanatory. You see, the most important part is to really appreciate, to have that whole sense of appreciation, honest appreciation of the huge diversity that this nation has, from linguistic perspective, from cultural perspective, from religious perspective. That is what is important. Therefore, how do we approach things in a manner which is in sync with that whole aspirational aspect of these people from diverse linguistic, cultural and religious background in a nation such as ours? No, so that's what I'm saying. How people approach on things, how political parties respond to a given situation, that is very important. That's why I say that, okay, different people have different way of doing things. Different political parties have different way of approach on issues such as these. So therefore, it is up to the conscience of the leaders of those respective political parties. I think they should take a cognizance of what has been articulated appropriately in the past and today.